Another year has passed, which is crazy. We are headed into 2022, and I could talk about that and the collective trauma we've all experienced living through the last 2 years of pandemic and feeling like we don't know when the world's gonna end, but feeling like it's imminent. And I should talk about that. But instead, let's talk about the books I want to read next year. Hi. So, I came into this year with a couple of reading goals. I wanted to read a book by an author of color every month, and I wanted to read 10 classics, both of which I did. This year, I'm not going in with the same structured, tight guidelines. I did find that I read more by authors of color, but I found it was more than once a month. I also found that having a number like that, like just a guideline, felt icky. It felt performative and gross, and like I was just reading those to read them, which isn't how I want to feel about the books that I read by authors of color, because they were so amazing. And yeah, so I'm doing away with that concept. In the year 2022, we are now no guidelines, just doing our best. So let's start with our physical TBR, which is ever growing. First, I want to read The Book of Magic, From Antiquity to the Enlightenment. This is an anthology about the Western magical tradition, all the way from the Old Testament to like the scientific revolution. And tell me that isn't the coolest thing you've ever heard. Also, I'm using my sad lamp as a light, and it is present. It's present. Next, I'd like to read One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I cannot believe I have not read this yet. I know it came out this year, and I was so sure I was going to read it the second it came out, but I just got so busy with school and everything. So I will be reading this. Maybe even I'll read it over winter break. We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Next, I'd like to read The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I feel like I've read this before. In fact, I'm sure if I go back to my Goodreads, I have read it probably 2018-ish, but I don't remember a lot about it, and a dear friend of mine highly recommended it to me, and as we know, I take my friend's word as gospel, so I will be rereading this, and I expect to love it. Next, I'd like to read A People's History of Scotland by Chris Banbury. This should be super interesting. I feel like, I don't know, I've not been able to like get out and about a lot while I've been in Scotland just because of COVID, Omicron, so I think this is obviously not, this is like a supplementary moment for me. Next, I'd like to read Disease, Desire, and the Body in Victorian Women's Popular Novels by Pamela K. Gilbert. I have held this up on this channel before, and hopefully I won't again. I got this at a book sale at my undergrad that I was running, and I've had it on my desk ever since, wanting to read it. I just haven't gotten around to it. It is not thick. It is not bad. I can finish this fast. I think I've not been in Victorian popular fiction for like a minute. It's been like a year now, maybe 2, since I've been like in that academic mindset. So for that field of literature. So I think I'll need to get like in the mode. Finally, in the year of our Lord 2022, I'm going to be reading All the Young Dudes by Miss King Bean 89. This is a Harry Potter fanfic that I bought a bound copy of. This is volume 1. There are 3 volumes, so chunky. This has been all over the Harry Potter like fandom community, especially on TikTok. It is about the Marauders and their time in Hogwarts, and it's centered around Remus Lupin, who, as we know, is my favorite Harry Potter character. So I'm incredibly excited to read this. I only bought the first volume just because, you know, they're pricey. Technically, it's illegal to like do this, but it's fine. It's fine. So I will let you know what I think. I'm quite certain I'll love it. Also, can we examine the cover? Look how beautiful this is. There's Lily. Gorgeous. For books I don't have physical copies of, but I do want to read this year, The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir, European Travel for the Monstrous Gentlewoman by Theodora Goss, A Secret History of Witches by Louisa Morgan, All's Well by Mona Awad, Night Film by Marisa Pessel. I've been trying to get around to this for years, so maybe this will be the year. Jane Austen, The Secret Radical by Helena Kelly, The Library of Babel by Jorge Luis Borges, The Fat is a Feminist Issue by Susie Orbach, and Book Lovers by Emily Henry. And then I would like to read more classics, but I'm not going to put a number on it. So those are some of the books that I'd like to read in the year 2022. I am super excited that this year I've included fanfic, because to be honest, the entire time I've been on BookTube, I've always been a huge fanfiction reader, if you can't tell that from everything about me, and I have never included it on BookTube just because I feel like it doesn't get the same respect. But you know what, I'm kind of done with that. Screw that. On my TBR is a fanfic, and I'm super excited to read it. Actually, I'm the most excited to read this. So, let me know what books you'd like to read in 2022 down below. I'd love to hear about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.